Bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow? Well, that's probably about right. Today in the shop we got a delivery of a Wahuda 8-inch spiral head cutting jointer. So this is a Wahuda Tools model 50180cc WHD. The reason I was drawn to it is, one, they are based out of Tennessee. Now this is probably a Chinese made jointer, but I wanted, they are based out of Tennessee and I'm in Georgia, so that was pretty close. I wanted to go with an 8-inch jointer because I want to be doing a little bit of flat planing, and we're going to show a way to do that for bigger items besides 8-inch. So I want to go a little bit larger than the 6-inch. And it also comes with a 4-sided carbide tip spiral blades instead of the 2 flat blades, what normally comes with a jointer. This is a 4-sided carbide, which is kind of like the helical, so I wanted to try that out. So out of the box, this does look pretty nice. You will have to, it's got the grease, whatever, to protect it for anti-rust. So that would need to be cleaned off. You'll have some assembly, and this is the same company that sells C-Tech. I know I've seen C-Tech before sold on Amazon. So that's why somewhat trusting that they're not a brand new company. We'll just see if this is an improved product from their other C-Tech line. So now we're back from assembly. I did want to mention I spent my own money to purchase this. One reason also I got it now was they're offering free shipping, so that was nice. The few features I like about this, and the reason I went with this model, I think this is getting into the mid-range of, it's not the basic, but it's also not a super high-end. But the features I like about this, and the big thing on these bench tops is a lot of them are made out of, have an aluminum top. This is a cast iron top, so that was one thing that drew me to this. I like the 8 inches deck size. This the cast iron top is 30.5 inches, but what they made into this, they made 2 side wings to make this bed to 54.5 inches. So I thought that was a good bonus too. And the desk port, there's a 4-inch desk port. It also includes an adapter to take that down to 2.5 inches. So however your desk system is set up, you can do either or. And it also comes with 2 push blocks. I haven't used it yet, but the only negative I see is the fence, but it's just as good as any of the other bench top fences out there, so that's just for this model. I mean, you get what you get. But I was able to calibrate it to about 90 degrees. I did calibrate the table. It only took me about 10 minutes to assemble everything, and I spent about 30-40 minutes trying to get the top perfect. It came into about 2 thou out, and so I think that's pretty good. Let's give it a test try. That's not bad. It looks pretty square. Okay, so that's enough of the review of the jointer. Let's go and build a simple stand out of 2x material. Now all the material I'm going to be using is reclaimed from a job site. These were used by the concrete footer installers as forming material for the concrete pour. So the first thing we're going to do is take out all the nails and scrape off any of the concrete splatter. Then I'm going to use a hand planer to take off any of the concrete. I just don't want the concrete hitting my new carbide tips on the planer. So now that we got the lumber roughly cleaned up, let's look at the plans. So this is going to be a simple stand constructed out of basically 2x4 material. One of the pieces I'm going to have to mill down, but it's just 2x on the corners. You got stretcher, 2x stretchers, and then you got the base of the where the mounting holes for the joiner are going to go. I like the height about 32 inches for me, and it's going to be 15 inches deep and 36 inches wide. So that's what we're basically going to go with for our stand. So we got all our boards cut out. To continue this reclaimed stand, the wood's reclaimed from a house build. I've got screws that I reclaimed from deck boards that I had to replace a couple weeks ago. So I saved all the old screws, and most of them were good. I threw the bad ones out, but the rest of them were good, so we just kept that. We'll use those, and basically the stand won't have any cost in it except for what we reclaimed. So we'll start with the legs. We've got 8 pieces. We're going to make 4 legs. We're just going to make a L shape out of them. But to get started, I'm going to offset it just a little bit and pre-drill the screw a little bit just to make things a little easier. And we'll just repeat that 4 times. So I've laid out 2 of the legs here. We're going to put the stretcher going across here at the bottom, and then I'm just going to use the 1.5-inch side of the 2x as a spacer up off the floor. So we'll just put that there, put the stretcher square onto there, and then we'll just screw it right in. Now for the upper spacer, we'll just put it at the top of the legs, but it needs to be flush with the top of the legs without a drop, because we're going to be using that as the top height of our stand. Alright, that's one side done, so now let's clear this off and we'll do it again with the other set. We got the front and the back section set up on the ground, so the next we're going to put the short stringers here to connect the two. What we're going to do is I'm going to pre-drill the screws, and then we're going to screw them in from the inside. So these are the pieces we're going to use for our blocking, which we will screw our jointer down to our bench. So I've already marked them out where the locations of where we want it to go. Now we just got to cut recesses down so that these boards will sit flush to the top there. Well, there you have it. A review of our new jointer and the jointer stand made simply with reclaimed material. Really can be anything, but that's what we had on hand, and I like the design. It's definitely sturdy, so when we're actually jointing things, it's not going to be wobbling around. If you're interested in finding out more about the jointer, I will have a link to the company's website down below. I also have an Amazon link to the product, so you can see the reviews there. And for my final opinion, I am very happy with the jointer that we picked out. We got some use out of it, but we're going to get some really good use out of it by making some cutting boards later on, so then I'll get a better idea. But I would recommend it. And let me know what kind of jointer you have, or if you have a different stand design in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. Until then, see you next time.